in the historical study of written materials, when scholars look at historical sources, they have two kinds of sources. The first kind of source is what is called a primary source. These materials tend to have direct access to the event itself. They can see what happened. Secondly, there are secondary sources, those materials which tend to be more recent and are dependent on the primary sources. So what are the sources that we have to reconstruct a history of Islam? When do you think all of this material was written? Well, we've already talked about it already. For the Sirah, the biography of Muhammad, Ibn Ishaq is the first person who wrote down the story of Muhammad's life at the request of the Caliph. Ibn Ishaq died in 767. So if Muhammad died in 632 AD and Ibn Ishaq died in 767 AD, then we have 135 years difference from the time that Muhammad lived to the time that Ibn Ishaq lived. Now, we're talking about 135 years later. But something that poses an even bigger problem is that we don't have any of Ibn Ishaq's material. They don't exist anymore. We know that he wrote it down because people say so, but we have to depend on a man by the name of Ibn Hisham. We get his Sirah, and Ibn Hisham, died, he was writing in 833 AD. So Ibn Hisham took Ibn Ishaq's material, that's what Ibn Hisham says, and said that a lot of it just didn't make sense to him. So he only kept that which he considered to be authentic. So he took Ibn Ishaq's material and wrote it down into what we have today known as the Sirah of the Prophet, that is 201 years after the time of Muhammad's death.